my van, I really grew to like tiny spaces, small spaces, and utilizing space. There was actually the tiny homes movement, but they kind of put a lot of glamour on that in the mainstream media. But the fact is you have everything in one space, and you utilize that space as efficiently as possible. And this was my workout area here, and being logical, and everything just came together and fits, and I'm really happy with it, and got everything in here anybody could ever need to get jacked and ripped. The mats are all there, um, and it's all those big 50 pounders are in the floor, the Joe Weider weights, which are really cool weights. They fit a 1 inch barbell. All the other weights fit a 1 inch dumbbell handle. My 290-pound stacked up on top of there, which I uh, was using for dumbbell presses. Not doing anything too much dumbbells right now. And some adjustable weights there from Walmart. Some rubber bands tied on each side of the dumbbell rack there for doing flies. I did a video on that. My bench that folds up nicely there in the corner. Um, and then my squat stands, they're good for squats and bench press there. They're stacked there. That I'm going to be using and adjusting today to do front military presses for delts. So I'm going to pull that out, set all that up. The fun part about the home gyms is you got to make sure your place is all tidy and clean. It feels great to have everything in order, and have your coffee and enjoy your time, your space without being distracted. And there's my dip bars there, my weight belt, my mat for stretching behind here, and then this is an apparatus I got here for doing pull-ups, and I use it for all kinds of things, improvising and being creative and different things. And I can use the elastic bands here that I use hanging off the side there by the TV for rehab with my tendons and stuff like that, and then a whole bunch of thicker, heavier elastic bands there that I use, and some more wrapped around the bottom there with my fat grips and my roller, and my other roller here, which I came to love with rehab. My dip belt that you can add weights on. I've also been known to tie that around, strap that around my waist, buckle it around my waist, and hang weights off it for squats. And I just love it. And I'm going to get into a shoulder delt workout here, and we're going to see what's going on. Okay, so here's the setup for front military presses. So you want the bench to be back. I mean, I could go straight up, but it just feels better when you got the bench back on a slight incline. And you want to take a look, and the most important thing here is you want to make sure everything's equal. You look at your right here, you know, you want to make sure the space is the same. You want to make sure everything's centered. See? And you want to look at the front and also make sure that that is in the same space. You know, look at your points, your measurements. Just do it by eye. You could use the lines there also to make sure that things are straight. Okay, you want everything perfect and centered on each side the same. Check and double check. The more perfect, the better. And you want this bar up high enough that you're in full extension. So on your last rep, when you come up to the very top, all you have to do is come forward about 1.5 inches and place that back on the hooks there. When you're coming up and down with that bar, you're just going to be about 1/2 inch away from your face, your chin. So you're going to keep it very close to your face, straight up, depending on how flexible you are, all the way down to the top of your pecs, and then back up, slow and controlled, and slightly explosive, and keep everything tight. Keep your back aligned, keep your shoulders rolled back slightly, keep your abs tight, and just do 1 rep at a time. Make every rep count, and start with progressive overload, which means on these types of bars, this is only a 15-pound bar, so you can't just go ahead and throw 25 pounds, 35, 50 pounds on each side, because the bar needs to weigh as much as the original plate does that you're putting on. That's why Olympic bars and gym bars, they're usually 35 to 40 pounds, because you can throw a 45 plate on one side and it's not going to tip over. So this being a 15-pound bar, you're only able to put on 10 pounds to 20 pounds per side at a time. So I got a lot of these 10-pound plates, and start with 20 pounds on each side, and get to the used to the movement, and then gradually make 10-pound increments, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, until I get to my heaviest weight. So, you know, don't try and be an egomaniac and think that, oh, 10-pound plates aren't going to look like anything, and throw on a 45 right away, just so you look like you're lifting heavy because you got a big 45-pound plate on there. Do 10-pound increments, and you know, you're going to end up, you know, you can fill that with probably 120, 20, 30, 40 pounds a side. So you get a lot of 10-pound plates on there. And when you're putting them on, put 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, so the bar doesn't tip over. That's the secret to these 15-pound bars. So this is the exact placement. You can see, okay, enough room for my boot to fit there. Enough room for my boot to fit there, same. So everything's equal, everything's the same, everything's centered. And with your bar, you want it to be able to rack it with right at the very end of your bar, so you got plenty of room to go as wide as possible with your grip. So you want that to come almost to the end there, and same on the other side. So as you can see, it's quite a process getting started with your home workout. It's all part of the workout is taking your time and making sure it's all set up correctly for your small space, because a lot of times you're not leaving it out, you're putting it away, and then it's going to be different for your next workout. But another trick here with these squat stands, bench press stands, is that when you're racking them, sometimes with the heavier weight, you're going to hit the back of the hook, and this part here is going to lift up a tad, which, I mean, it's not going to totally tip over, but you're still going to have some movement. So, I mean, it's a home gym, you got to improvise, you got to do little things. It's not always going to be perfect. But yeah, I got 50-pound plate on each side, and that's more than enough to keep those from moving at all. So there you go for that. Got to cover all the bases. You'll figure these things out as I'm slowly figuring these things out as I go along. Okay, so I'm just getting into my warm-up sets there, feeling out the movement, seeing what hurts, what doesn't. A little bit of pain here. So this is where the tendonitis starts, right here, and it goes down. That tendon goes right down, and it goes right into here. So I've been learning how to rehab that, and I'll show you in another video, but that's where the pain is. And then, of course, tendonitis in the wrists. So as we warm up here, we want to get those areas ready so they got some support. And this is electrical tape here. I think I'm probably the only one that does this, but you can get electrical tape at the dollar store. And the nice thing about it is it doesn't rip your skin off, and it's got a little bit of flex to it, so you can go fairly tight without cutting off your circulation and getting right into those small little areas there that need extra support in here, that the wrist wraps won't give you that specific precise tension there. So I just start by getting that right on the opposite side of the little ankle there, and pull it all the way out, because you don't want it to be too tight. And then you want that right at the bottom of your palm, so you cover the wrist that's the most prone to injury. Your tendons is right there. Come right around, over top of your last one, overlap it. Now you're going over top of that ankle there, around, overlapping it, and don't pull it too tight. It's nice. And I keep this on when I'm working, sometimes all day long. Helps support injury and keep the area safe from aggravating it and further injury. That's about as high as you want to go there, and you can just cut that off with some tape, with some scissors, and do the other side the same. So now you got that all set up good. You can feel that. It's a nice tension. You can go ahead and put on, this is for anybody with elbow problems or wants to increase their lifts and maybe have a weaker area in here. Tendonitis. They don't exactly pull up nice and easy. That's because they're tight. That's how you want them to be. That's going to give you extra support around your elbow and your bicep tendon. And you can feel that. That feels nice. It's like giving the arm a hug. And of course, I'll do this arm. I won't bother showing you the other arm, obviously. Then you want to take care of this by covering that up with your wrap. Now, when doing that wrap, once again, you want it tightest around that area here. So you're going to get around there and pull tight there. And mind you, you're going to take this off in between sets because you want this so tight that it is cutting off your circulation. That's how tight you want it for that set. But afterwards, after your set, you take the wrist straps off and get your circulation back. So a lot of people don't understand with wraps. If you really want to make them work efficiently, you do them extra tight, but you take them off in between sets to get your circulation back. And when I say extra tight, that's nice and tight. Okay, that's going to give you that support you need. Hey, not everyone could be Michael Heron strong, especially at 49 years old. And I obviously haven't had the same path as Michael Heron did. So I do what I need to do to get jacked and ripped. He does what he needs to do. Everybody does it differently as to how they need to get jacked and ripped. Now, me, I got a lot of aches and pains, injuries, from overexerting myself physically with hard labor jobs and training intense for so long that the first set where I can feel the weight working, I can feel those little aches and pains, and gradually as they get heavier and the blood flow gets into the body, they work themselves out. So now I'm going to add another 10-pound plate on there, and then eventually the back belt's going to go on because I got degenerative disc disease, which doctors say pretty much everybody has these days, hence chiropractors on every block. But mine happened at the very early stages of my bodybuilding. I was too strong for my own good. I was trying to show off at a warehouse job I had and was deadlifting oil barrels. Anytime there was a barrel or something that tipped over I didn't wait for the forklift. I like to impress everyone by deadlifting the oil barrel, and actually slipped a disc in my lower back. So yeah, it hasn't been an easy road, but anybody could do it. I mean, look at Ronnie Coleman as a prime example. So that was a good working set. Even the high rep sets are working sets. And take a good break and add another plate. So it's basically now 50 pounds per side, plus the bar 15 pounds, so that's 115 pounds. The heaviest I was going with dumbbells, being a dumbbell guy, was I managed to get up to the 75-pound dumbbells, which was pretty heavy. So this is basically 60 pounds per side. So a little bit under that. I was only getting like 8 reps out of that 75s. So let's see what I can do with this. And I'm not training to exhaustion anymore, so I may or may not continue to add another plate after this set. I may distinguish this exercise and move on to something else. We'll see how this set goes. So keep everything tight. As you can see, I'm only coming down to my chin. Once I feel the bar hit my chin, I go up. I'm not flexible enough yet. I'm still getting used to this movement to come all the way down to my upper chest. And of course, I'm not locking out at top because it's just too much strain on my front deltoids, so I keep it right in the middle. Pretty happy with that. A little bit uncomfortable in the lower back. I almost needed to move my ass up a bit in the middle of that set to align myself. But I think I managed okay. I could go heavier, but this is a slowly progressive comeback from a layoff. Still getting used to these compound exercises, and that's going to be the best way to progress. So doing those side laterals with the elastic band, this 35 pounder, and it's great tension, continuous tension. Using my pull-up apparatus here. Lots of options on here, you just gotta get creative. Tied that on there, and then yeah, there you go, side laterals. So that concludes my deltoid workout. I know I didn't hit front deltoids or rear, but that comes on separate days. It's very random because I am actually targeting trying to increase the size of my rear delt, so I do that individually. But as far as the deltoid workout, 3 movements is all it's recommended for the basics of bodybuilding, for larger body parts, and 2 for smaller body parts. So I'm trying my hardest not to let that sneak above there and lead me into making my injuries worse and overtraining. So I got to conclude it right there as a done deal, and see what kind of oh, and once again, I was training with an empty stomach now because I am just had my coffee because I'm trying to get nice and ripped again. I'm at 220, but I have to get down to about 195, 200 to be just shredded. So I training on an empty stomach. That's how I kind of get things rolling, just with the coffee. And so see what kind of pump I got there. not a professional like Mike O'Heron, but I'm a professional Johnny Boombad.